Alright guys, this is going to be a quick and dirty tutorial on how to make your own instaWARPs. These are important for clearing a station, particularly busy stations where there's gankers, or if you are under war deck, you may have war targets waiting at the undock to get you. This will help you to clear the gankers and clear the war targets so that they can't get you at the undock. I'm going to show you how to make these for stations that shoot you out on a two-dimensional plane and stations that shoot you out facing downwards. Alright, so first we're going to do one that shoots you out horizontally on the two-dimensional plane. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using our tactical overlay, which sets up like a compass grid over top of our ship. So when we're looking down at our ship, we can see the 4 compass points. We're going to be using this and following one of the cardinal directions to make sure that we're going in a straight line. So here we go. We're going to undock. We're going to do this one first. So first thing I'm going to do is make sure that I have my tactical overlay. That's this one here. Let's make sure that's on. Then I'm going to look through my ship and I'm going to follow that two-dimensional grid here. So I'm going to point myself at the 180 mark out there. And you can see that's going to set me out directly out front of my undock. Now the effect being that when I undock, I'm going to be traveling pretty much in that direction and already at the speed to warp away. Which means as soon as I undock, I right click to warp to that bookmark and I'm going to instantly warp. Now it's important to have your local bookmarks window open. On the new interface, you do that by opening locations, so you can press L to get this. And then the very top folder is going to be locations in your current system. You're going to click on this icon to pop it out. So you can see here when I close it, I just click on this icon and it shows me all the bookmarks in my current system. So that when I undock, I'm just going to instantly right click on that bookmark and hit warp to. It's going to look like this. Now if you're using the old UI still, you're just going to press L and L will directly pull up this window. So we're almost at 150 kilometers, which is what we want to be able to warp away. And you can see here that directly behind us is the undock. So as soon as I undock, I right click on that bookmark. I'm already in the right direction and I'm already at the velocity to warp away. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control B to make a bookmark. I'm going to call it Riaviad 10.1. Riaviad 10.1 instaWARP. So I don't accidentally click on the wrong one. Let's go to my Instas, set to never expire, and submit. So now we're going to test this out. I'm going to show you real quick that this one worked. So these ones are the easiest. The ones that are on two-dimensional plane, they're the easiest to do.
Permission requested.
By putting these little symbols here, that's going to put it at the top of this window. If you just make it Riaviad 10.1, it's going to sort it alphabetically, and if you got a lot of bookmarks, it's going to end up at the bottom. You'll have to scroll to get it before you can warp away. So we've got it at the top. I'm going to undock. Right click, warp to 0, and boom, I'm away. Before they can even lock me up, I'm away, I'm safe. Do not waste time here because your opponents might have combat probes out and they will be able to probe you and warp directly on you. So what you want to do is just as soon as you arrive at your safe spot, warp away to your destination gate or wherever you're going immediately. So now we're going to do one that kicks you out pointing downwards. And there's a trick for this one that I'll show you. You're not going to have this grid that you can just like aim down your ship and point at cardinal direction and click there. You're not going to have that because you're pointing down. You can see we have no grid pointing down. So I'm going to show you what we do here.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
So now what we're going to do, this is pointing us down. We have no grid to follow. But in high sec and in some low sec, you're going to have a gun directly below, a station gun directly below the undock. You can use that. Look down your ship, find that gun, and start clicking in that direction. And you can see here, we're pretty much on point. We can rotate and see that our direction is directly down. So now we're going to get out to 150 kilometers here. You can see here it spins around. It looks like it's off center, but it's not. No matter which direction you're going, it's going to look off center. The key thing is, were we in line with that gun as we came out? You can, if you don't have a gun there, just keep trying to put the camera directly overhead and clicking right beside your ship, and keep doing that, and you will go in the general direction of down. And the further out you are from the undock, the easier it's going to be to align to it if it's slightly off center. So we're almost at our range. You need to be 150 kilometers away. We're going to call it, Riyadh, and this is 912. 912 InstaWARP. We're facing down. There we go. We're 200 kilometers away. Perfect. Now what I'm going to show you next is an InstaDOCK. These are important because sometimes when you warp to a station, you warp a few kilometers outside the docking ring, and then your ship will have to slow burn up to the station or accelerate before it can dock. In those few seconds, gankers will lock you up, particularly at a trade hub. They're going to lock you up and blow you up before you can even dock. So what we want to do is we want to dock, and we're going to set a bookmark within the docking ring right where we undock. So let's dock up.
Docking request accepted.
This is also useful if you are trying to engage somebody at the undock. You will land right on top of them. So as soon as we undock, we're going to control spacebar to stop our ship. Control spacebar, stop our ship, and we are well inside the docking ring. We are able to dock instantly when our ship arrives here. So Control B, symbol, Riyadh 912, InstaDOCK, so we can differentiate it. Now you can see here, I can see this is the dock, this is the warp. Now some stations are going to spit you out at an angle.
Warp drive active.
So I suspect this refinery is not pointing to one of the cardinal directions. So we're going to make an instaWARP for this. Now, Athenors and Rutaros, they only have one direction when they spit you out, so it makes it easy. Astra houses have a variety of different general directions that they can spit you out. So you can see here, this undock is not facing one of the cardinal directions. So I'll show you what we're going to do. So now, ooh, that's loud. Now we're going to undock. So we've got our tactical overlay on. We're going to go bird's eye view, and we're going to manually steer. First, let's actually make sure we're on the two-dimensional plane. Sorry. We're going to make sure we're on the two-dimensional plane, so we want to look through our ship and click on that line for our tactical overlay, and then we're going to go bird's eye view here. And you can actually see the direction your ship is pointing, and you can use your arrow keys to steer the ship right or left. So it looks like we're pretty much in line. We can look down the center of this Athenor, like we're aiming, and we can see that yes, we are in line with the undock. And once we get out to 150 kilometers, we're going to see that the undock is directly behind us. So we have our instaWARP on a structure like, for example, JITA 44, I think is off one of the cardinal directions. It's not exactly on one of them. So you will do this. You will click on the two-dimensional plane on your tactical overlay, go bird's eye view, and then manually steer right and left to make sure that you're lined up with the undock. So there you go, guys. This is how you make your own instaWARP and instaDOCK bookmarks. This is very important in times of war or to avoid ganks. And it's also important, like, yes, your corp or alliance will have their own instas, but you should assume that they've been compromised, and in times of war, your war targets will land on you at the insta. So it's important to know how to make your own. All right, cheers.